enjoy this snowy winter garden tour of our front yard garden beds. Hi, I'm Laura from Garden Sanity, and we actually had a bit of snow. First, we begin with the fox and the rabbits. These are bunny tracks on our driveway going into the road. So cute, right? But here to the left are some fox tracks. We never would have guessed we had a fox unless we had this light snowfall. Our security cameras captured a fox chasing rabbits during the night. It looks like they entered here between the red and yellow twig dogwoods. They went through this bed, onto the driveway, and into the other garden beds. I just love knowing we have a fox to keep those rabbits in line. I just don't want to know what happens. First up is our red and yellow twig dogwoods. They look so pretty against the snow, don't they? Especially the yellow, it really pops. There's a blue-starred juniper there. You can see the tracks from the fox again. We swing over, and I can't help but absolutely adore the way this bark looks on the river birch tree. It kind of has a pinkish tint to it. It's so pretty. These are the little bunny grasses that I have in this bed. I have 5 of them. I love the way they look with the snow on them. This whole bed looks so pretty dusted with snow. It's got a nice mix of the evergreens as well as even the tan color of the grasses. That's also considered a color. Don't forget that when you're planning your beds. I've got the rose bushes there, Japanese hellerii. In between the hellerii are remnants of the little geranium roseannes. Back there's a little Kramer's red winter Heath peeking out. Those are little Henry Virginia sweetspire twigs. And then the piece de resistance is our mugo pine. Look at that green color. It's so pretty. I just feel like the green color's happy, it's joyful, and it really stands out in the landscape, whether there's snow or not. But I love the way it looks with all the snow on it. And here's another shot of the river birch bark. Here with the snow on it, looks so pretty. The main plant in this bed is a Manhattan euonymus. It almost looks like an overgrown boxwood, doesn't it, with all the snow on it? It's such a pretty evergreen, and it's so different from all the needled evergreens that you see traditionally in a garden bed in the wintertime. There's also a rose bush, a knockout rose bush. It's kind of dormant for the winter. It is dormant. There's a blue-starred juniper. Here and there in all the beds, you're also going to see some little twigs peeking out, and those are remnants of annuals. I leave them there as a cheat. This way, I know exactly where to put some plants the next year. It's kind of easy. Dig them out, plop some back in. This is a Kramer's red winter Heath, which is my pride and joy. I love these plants. You'll hear me talking about them, and you probably have heard me talking about them in so many videos. I have them throughout all the beds in the front yard, as you'll see. And now that they're in full bloom, you can see exactly why these are so great. And against the green, it's so pretty. We start with the Hamlin grasses, of which I have 3 in the center bed. So pretty, again, with that tan color, nice against the snow, along with more bunny tracks. Right there are more remnants of geranium roseannes, which will look so pretty all spring and summer into fall. The color guard yucca, as you can see, has bright color. Behind it are pinky winky hydrangeas. Such a nice contrast with the grasses, isn't it? On each side of the bed, I've got blue rug junipers. Can't really see them much, but they're there. They're there doing their thing. And then you have 2 more Kramer's Red Winter Heaths. Get a close-up of the color. It's really a nice contrast with the plants around it, like the color guard yucca. There's some bunny tracks and fox tracks. And then, of course, I've got my favorite Pinky Winky hydrangeas. I like to leave the flowers on them all winter long. The flowers are just charming. It's a King's Gold Cypress. That's the top of our Muskogee crepe myrtle against the sky. It's so pretty. You can see how the King's Gold Cypress, that yellow-green color, bounces off the color guard yucca back there. It's a nice play of colors amongst all the tracks of the bunnies and the fox. A few remaining berries are on the Orange Rocket Barberry. Here's a dependable sea green juniper. And look at this, daffodils. Yes, indeed, they're starting to come up. Here are 3 more Kramer's Red Winter Heaths. And you got some more bunny tracks, which are just so neat to see. Each side of the bed mirrors the other, so there's another sea green juniper, cypress. This is Fothergilla. I have 3 of these shrubs, and I love the way the twigs look in the wintertime, and against the snow, I luck out this year because I can really enjoy their shapes and forms. And behind them is our Muskogee crepe myrtle, and I want to give you a closer look at the bark. Isn't that just so neat? And the lichen that's on it is just an added bonus. I just love that little extra pop of color. I can't help it. I love it. Silver King Euonymus is a great foundation shrub. We have a row of them on each side of our front entrance against the house. With the variegated leaves all year round, it's a really, really striking, colorful plant. And the reddish-orange berries that the birds love are an added bonus in the winter season. Candy tuft is a small plant, but it's really mighty. It's evergreen in the winter. Nice little pops of color here and there. The knockout rose bushes on this foundation bed kind of lost a lot of their color with the freezing weather, but there's still a little bit of red you can see, a couple little greenish leaves here and there. The ornamental maples that we have, 1 in each bed, look so great in the wintertime. I mean, look how you see the twigs and the snow dusted on each limb. I love it. And now we come to the plant that started it all for me, Kramer's Red Winter Heath. Well, maybe it didn't start it all, but it started my love affair with this plant. It's a small evergreen shrub, and as you can see, it's in full bloom. This shrub blooms from usually January, although this year it started in December, and it'll go through the end of April. I'm not exaggerating. This is how it looked in January. It's how it looks now. It's how it's going to look in the springtime when there's daffodils all around. Look how intricate the flowers are. It is just beautiful. It's kind of like a pink, fuchsia. It does have tinges of red. It's just an incredible winter blooming shrub, and that's after I planted these right here. That's why I ended up planting them in several of the other beds in the front yard. It's just stunning. I love this shrub. It looks really nice juxtaposed with the Japanese hellerai, which again sort of looks like a boxwood. It's almost hard to tell the difference sometimes. And then you have the Lavender Phenomenal. And this is an evergreen lavender. It's an American bred lavender. They say evergreen, I kind of call it evergray. As you can see, it takes on kind of more of a grayish cast in the winter, but really, really pretty. Just really cool. On this other side bed, I have two more Kramer's Red Winter Heaths up closer towards the house, and in the middle is a white heather. The white heather blooms primarily in the summer into fall, and the Kramer's Red, as I mentioned, blooms winter into spring. I love having these three shrubs together. I like them no matter what time of year. Just really, really intricate flowers, dependable blooms. They like a lot of moisture, and they'll reward you with a ton of flowers if you're nice to them. And you've got more bunny tracks next to the Calameris false asters, and the bunny tracks lead back to our little lime hydrangeas in front of the arborvitaes. I always leave the flowers of these plants on all winter long. This season with the snow and the freezing rain, not many of the flowers are left, but I think they give it almost a, I don't know, they look vintagey, don't they? And I just love how delicate they look with the snow. I mean, look at this little remnant. Here you see mugo pines in the background, next to a river birch. Here in the foreground are three Kramer's Red Winter Heaths and lots of bunny tracks. And another little lime hydrangea. You see the twigs there in the back. I'm telling you, these plants, they just glow against the snow, but even when there's not snow, as usual, our winters don't have snow, they're just so pretty. I think that's why there's bunny tracks there. They went by to see, how pretty they were up close. There's another Japanese helleri. Then you've got a winter gem boxwood here, right in the front of the bed along the street. There's some grasses to the left of it. You can't really see them that well in this shot here. But that's my tour, and I really hope you enjoyed it. It's nice to see our gardens dusted with some snow. And if you want to see these beds, how they looked in the fall, please check out my Fall Garden Tour series. In the meantime, I'm going to take another walk around the garden.